So, hello everybody. Welcome to the International Grain Forum LinkedIn Live session. Today we officially begin our Commodity Exchange tour, a series designed to help the grain industry better understand the essential infrastructure behind commodity exchange. Our goal is to clarify how exchanges operate, what products are traded, how memberships works, how market reports are created, and what role exchanges play in ensuring transparency and reliable price formation. In this session, we have the great pleasure to present two key institutions shaping the Black Sea and Danube grain corridors, the Vienna Commodity Exchange and the Commodity Exchange Novi Sad. Our speakers for today are Mr. D. Ernst Gauhs, Vienna Commodity Exchange, and Mr. Vlado Kovačević, PhD, CEO of the Commodity Exchange Novi Sad. Thank you all for joining us. And now, dear Ernest, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. First of all, have a nice day and successful day, and thanks for the invitation. Could you show my slides? So I don't see them by now. Well, yeah, thank you very much. So brief introduction, what I will be telling you right now. I'd like to make some statements on the history and the structure and the services of our commodity exchange in Vienna, followed by a brief insight to the Austrian market. So I can't go into deep details, but I'd like to show you, well, the main topics of how our market functions. Well, on the next slide, I immediately step into details of our history, not at length, but just to indicate our commodity exchange was founded in 1869, some months ago already. And it is, in principle, a company of public law cooperation under government supervision. So this is a company owning that building that you saw on the first slide. And we are running this Börse. Principle on this commodity exchange, there are no futures traded. This is just a commodity exchange based on service for the consumer-to-consumer or trader-to-trader direct contracts. So there are only commodity trades manipulated and serviced at this Börse. Next step to understand who is participating in this Börse. Our members are traders in the first line, cooperatives, processors, storage operators, farmers, brokers, and a number of service companies, for example, forwarders or quality inspection companies. On the next slide, you will see how our Börse is organized and is run. So we have, in principle, three corporate bodies. First, the presidency, existing of president himself, vice presidents, 3, and the cashier, so altogether 5 people. This is the management board of the Börse, if you want to name it like that. And there is a chamber of 30 people out of the members of the Börse, and they are in charge of voting on the budget, voting on expenses and incomes, voting on membership fees and so on. And the presidency is running the everyday business within the budget, for example. Together with that, to work into details, we have committees, and there is, for example, the team of the arbiters for our arbitrations, the team that is responsible or in charge of price notations, There are some people specialized on serving the general terms of trade. And of course, we have to deal with economic affairs in our Börse as well. On the next slide, you have an overview of 2-hour service provisions. So the Börse is not specializing in fixing trades. The Börse is more a service institution where we have the possibility for the traders to meet, to exchange news, and to, especially first point, make some price notations. So that happens every Wednesday, and the price notations will be published on this internet site that is mentioned here, so börsewien.at. The prices based on notations proposed by members, and the members can bring it directly if they take part in the price notation meeting every Wednesday, or they can send it by electronic means or emails or whatever. And it has to be based on prices of contracts that were concluded the week earlier. So these are not price notations for the next week. They are not valid to the future. This is just a report on what happened in the last week, and has to be physical contracts on the physical market. There are price notations on a regular basis, so these parities and qualities are fixed, and that opens the possibility to have some graphs derived from that, so you can easily make some graphs for example, milling wheat price notations over the last month, over the last year, over the last few years. You can choose that very easily. And there are price notations for, I'd say, irregular parities. For example, if we have import prices, then you have to indicate what is the real quality, what is the origin, and have to indicate specifically the parity. As you all certainly know, there is a huge variety of things that can be concluded in contracts, and even if you try to fill out every detail, you will never ever get any details that could possibly change. So one of our main services is providing general terms of trade. They are published and can be downloaded in different languages. The languages are mentioned here, so German, English, Italian, Hungarian, and so on. And the terms of trade will be an easy tool if you refer to the general terms of trade of the Commodity Exchange in Vienna. You have in detail solutions for several problems that can occur as you try to execute certain contracts. And together with that, we offer arbitration service. So if it comes to a dispute, and in any case, if you fix general terms of trade of Vienna or any other, the arbitration will try to settle that and make a judgment. The advantages of the arbitration in Vienna are it is very fast. So within, on average, 4 weeks, you have a judgment. And it is extremely cost efficient. So total costs may vary, but in general, we are at 0.75% of the value in dispute. So very fast, and in close nearby, so you don't have to travel to, let's say, London. If you do it on a GAFTA basis, it will be Vienna. And well, if necessary, there is the possibility to do it on the basis of a video conference. We don't like to do that, but in rare exemptions, we are ready to do that as well. For example, we had some persons to be interviewed in Ukraine, and they couldn't manage to travel to Vienna, so we did that on video. Arbitration is one case, and the next is we are obliged to do some market observation. One of that results of our market observation is the weekly market report, is published on the website, as you see above, börsewien.at. And this weekly market report is split down into commodity groups, so milling grains and feed grains and oilseeds. And for every commodity group, we have it split down into one global part. So this is just a summary of global market reports, and we try to make them or filter the main points, what was happening within the last week, and give some explanations to that, and indicate how the futures process developed over the last week. So you will have the indication of the difference between the closing values of last week and this week. So we compare every Tuesday. And there is a second part, and this part refers to the regional market. And there we have some interviews with traders and with companies, processing companies like mills or oil mills. And we asked them, what was the market doing within the last 7 days, and try to give some indications what is going on. Is there a big volume traded? Is the volume rather low? Is there anything traded because there are some disruptions, or farmers don't want to sell, whatever. So we try to give there an objective view to the market that can't be precise, because you see that derives from interviews, and this is not a precise overlook over all contracts that have been concluded. This is unfortunately not reported in detail. Together with that, or additional to that, we organize some events. And one of the biggest events that we have on a regular basis is the Danube Exchange. This is organized every first Friday in the month of September. So immediately after we concluded our summer harvest, we know about the figures in Central Europe and even in Western and Northern Europe. We meet, and there is a considerably high number of participants. So we have close to 750 up to 800 traders that meet there, traders, processors, and service providers. And this is a quite good overview for the market in Central Europe. I'd like to mention, if you become a member of the Börse, you will be granted extra low costs, extra reductions on the membership fee, for example, in the Danube Exchange. And further to that, you will be granted reductions on the price of arbitration, for example. But the information we publish on our internet site is available for everybody. You please look it up. Unfortunately, it's in German, but I think the translation possibilities in the internet are already sophisticated enough to translate it into your national language. So last point on our service provisions are trainings. if you base yourself, for example, if you plan to base your contracts in future on general terms of trade of Vienna, it would be best to attend a training on these general terms of trade, just to be on the safe side. What means prompt delivery, how you can test the quality, how you have to make your reports and information flow in the contract, to be on the safe side and when it comes to disputes, that you win arbitrations. So if you're interested, we are ready to make some trainings. The normal training would be 2 days. It's better to do it with a little bit time in between, just to digest the things you will hear there. If you just want to have a quick look at it, we can make an hour of presentation with some examples of disputes out of contracts and how these are settled on the basis of general terms of trade. Okay, next slide. Just to have a pause, I brought some photos and one image with me. This is the great trading hall at the Börse, and this photo was taken in the early 20th century, so the whole building must have been 20 or 25 years old. The great trading hall is right now used as a showroom for a theater, and it still shows damage coming from the Second World War. So we try to collect enough money to bring it into the old bright situation, but yeah, we have to be busy on sparing some money until we can do that. Okay, next slide. Now I would be into presenting some insights to the Austrian market. So from my point of view, if you want to understand how the Austrian market is functioning, have first of all a look on supply and demand. These data comes from AMA, so our paying authority for the European common grain market, common agricultural market. And you see there the blue line is the line of consumption, of demand, and the red line is the shows the figures of production of grain and corn in Austria. It can be easily seen that we are a structural import region, so we by far use more grain than we can produce. But together with that, there are regular exports from Austria mainly to the European Union. For example, within the last 5 years, the wheat exports to other European member states ranged between 525 and 650,000 tons per year. And we additionally exported some corn in between of 475 to 500,000 tons per year. Grain exports in total range between 1.2 and 1.4 million tons every year. So that means we are structural importing, but we are exporting, be explained. So we mainly import basis industrial raw materials, so basis wheat, feed corn, for starch production, for ethanol production, and citrus acid production. There are some big processors in Austria, and they benefit from the good infrastructural circumstances, and therefore increase their productivity, increase their volume. So we turned from the early 90s, where we were an exclusive grain exporting region, now to a structural import region every year. So the graph is from end of July, but the latest figures for grain in total are 5.5 million tons, 5.6 million tons. We had a bumper corn crop. We had a very good corn crop, high yields. They were indicated on average with 114 or 11.4 tons per hectare. Okay, so this to the supply-demand figures. Let's have a look on the next slide where I will show how this volume is traded. So you have there the mark per month. The green columns show the first figures of the first months in this campaign, and the red columns show how the quantities were sold in the last campaign, 24-25. It can be easily seen that the main share of the marketed volume is done by the farmers ex-crop, so July, August, September, and the rest will be then the autumn harvest of corn and soybeans and so on. And most of the corn is traded as wet corn directly to the industry. So the quantity that is stored at the farms is considerably low, and the main quantity is traded ex-harvest, and there are several contract possibilities, sectors, cooperatives and the farmers. But if you want to buy in Austria, you have to contact the traders and collectors, and less the farmers. Second special item in Austria is that we have a share of 12.6% of organic wheat, organic grains. The share of acreage is at around 25, but you know there's less yield, and you can't grow grains every year if you produce organic. So the share of production is only at slightly less than 13%. So that would be the main basis. Now let's have a look on the prices. I just brought on the next slide an example. Thank you very much. An example of the price notations of quality wheat, which are published by, or have been published by, the Vienna Exchange. So you can see this shows the price development within the year 2025. So at the price line of 220, we came on the 6th of August, for example, notation was 221. And at the same time, so you have to compare that with some days earlier on the Euronext, wheat number 2 was fixed with 194.5. So we had around a basis of plus 25 for our quality wheat. And quality wheat is defined with a minimum protein of 14.0% protein on dry matters. Okay, and this developed until recently. So last week, 3rd of December, we had a notation of 204.5 compared to 186.75. So the premium decreased a little bit, but it's still within the range. I'd say a premium for quality wheat 20-25 over Euronext is more or less the usual premium that we have. Let's have a quick look at, first of all, probably to indicate about the volume already traded. We already have almost half a year of trading in this campaign. And what traders keep telling me in the interviews to our market report is that they already sold good volume. So the the demand that is existing for the Austrian quality wheat has been covered quite in a pace that is according to the last year or to a normal year. So there is we are not falling back. We think that the existing demand was covered in a good way up to now. We have to see about the rest of the campaign, but they are optimistic that there will be no homebreed pressure coming to the markets because they forgot to sell in due time. Now let's have a look on the corn on the next slide. Corn prices are not at the premium to Euronext, so they are normally at a discount. I'll explain that later. Let's just have a quick look on the prices in this campaign. So at the beginning of the harvest, so early October, we were at 185 and we're at 3 euros above the comparable Euronext prices. We are now slightly less than that at 182, and Euronext increased to 187, so they are 5 euros above. In former years, we had a discount to the Euronext of 20 euros, roughly. And this was due to the fact that we had strong suppliers in our direct neighborhood. So as Hungary had enormous oversupplies of corn, they had to export it to Netherlands and going through Germany and passing Austria, and therefore our price level used to be considerably below the Euronext. So our basis right now is stronger than that because in recent years the corn production in the east and southeast decreased quite considerably, and the commodity flow changed dramatically within Europe. Austria is structural import country, and we nowadays get the imports from Poland mainly. Okay, this was a very brief look to the Austrian market. I already consumed quite some time. Just the last slide. If you have questions, if you are curious to have a training or to visit Vienna, visit our Börse. If you want to come to the Danube Börse, please see the information on our internet site, and there you have all contact details to get in contact directly with the secretary of our Börse. So thanks for listening, and if you have any questions, I'll try to do my best to answer them.
So thank you very much, Ernst, for this educational presentation and information. And thank you for the picture. And we are glad that we witnessed the part of the history that is linked with the topic. And thank you very much for everything. So can Vlado now take the floor?
Okay, Mladena, Ernst, many thanks for your excellent presentation, and it's very useful. And I have pleasure to present Commodity Exchange. But I have to start from Vienna Commodity Exchange. Actually, a few years ago, a delegation from the Commodity Exchange Novi Sad visited the Vienna Commodity Exchange, and besides being truly exceptional host, one moment left a strong impression of us. We saw those impressive hall, and we were visited your archive library. And what is impressed us mostly, one the large bond book was randomly taken from the shelf and opened, and it was a record like 200 years ago from Vojvodina, Danube port, and the beautiful hand written like a price in at the Danube in Serbia, and every day those record is which kept, and it was so impressive, and it tells a lot about the Vienna Commodity Exchange, and I have to notice that, and thank you very much for all your kind visit, and we can recommend anybody to visit Vienna Commodity Exchange. A lot to see, and a lot to learn for sure. And let me briefly introduce the Novi Sad Commodity Exchange. We are established in 1921, so pretty old institution. We are governmental owned and under government jurisdiction. So we do have some very similar to Vienna Commodity Exchange, some public obligations to do. Actually, first, what we are doing, we are trading in spot market, meaning that all our trades are physically fulfilled. So in grain, mostly corn, wheat, barley, soybean, and mineral fertilizers. So rarely we are doing like a forward contracts. Most of the contracts are fulfilled in 1 month. So actually how the market works, how to become the member, because all of our sessions are oriented to the traders to be maximally to be useful, actually, to learn how to trade, how to use the reports. So actually to become the members of the Commodity Exchange, only the members can trade. That's the first condition to become the member of the Commodity Exchange. Each members are assigned to personal broker. So they're getting advice, and they can advise on the market movements every day or whenever they are needed. So how to trade it? The Novi Sad Commodity Exchange, there is an electronic platform. So you can trade from your cell phone, or you can, which is most common, you can make the trade by verbal instruction to their brokers. The very important the Commodity Exchange is full transparency. Data on the buying, selling order, concluding trade, we are all getting at the same time by the notification, usually, or the cell phone, or by the email. So it is very important. After the trade is done, the Commodity Exchange Novi Sad is creating the contracts. So it is a rare situation, because most of those commodity exchange reporting agencies are reporting based on the interview or based on the question. And actually, Commodity Exchange Novi Sad has the real traded prices. So coming to the market reporting, we do have like a daily report, usually at the mid of the day in English and in Serbian, and it's describe sentiment of the market during the day, because beside of the orders you can see at the electronic trading board, there is some order which are verbally entered. So in these reports you will get better sense on the this day market. Weekly reports, monthly and annual reports are also available both in the English and Serbian. Geographically, the Commodity Exchange Novi Sad since 1921 is serving the Serbian market. We do have a lot of members from former Yugoslavian countries, but we are seeing an increasing number of the EU and the Asia traders actively participating at the Commodity Exchange Novi Sad. So we do have arbitration procedure, same as we are seeing at Vienna Commodity Exchange. Those arbitrations are part of the contracts, so it is avoiding so it's usually shorter and less expensive procedure over there, protecting our traders. So it is like briefly about our commodity exchange. As the government organization, we have obligations to follow some security procedures, like each order when it's placed, first is checked by the broker, then it's checked by the controller, and after that is the placed on the board, it is active. So we have double check procedure in order to have fair market price, and to be sure that our reports will reflect the fair market in the region. And so It will be I'll say the most important. We are placed in Novi Sad, Vojvodina, most important grain producing area in the Serbia as been established. So it is like a brief about how the commodity exchange is operating. It's a rare spot commodity exchange in Europe right now. So if you have any question of our operation, how to become the members, how to use our reports, where to find, so please you may just use this opportunity. We will be glad to answer. And as the Ernst is kindly excellently presented the Austrian grain market landscape, I will try in the brief to explain how the Serbian market is working. Most of the traders are already familiar because the Serbia is important producers and important exporter within the Black Sea and Danube region. Just to throw some numbers regarding to corn, variation in our export capacity is huge. It is going from the 500 tons to 3 million tons per year. So Serbia used to be biggest corn exporter. Wheat, the biggest export we saw in the last 5 years was 1.15 million tons. Barley is around 100 million tons. Soybean used to be like a large exporters with 200,000 tons. Now the situation a bit different. Related to the logistics, Serbia is rely on the Danube and the Constanza port, and around 50% of our exports is going that way, since most of our traders are selling the goods at the Constanza ports. The multinational companies are taking from there. That's the usual situation. But the situation in the market landscape is a bit a change. So we are seeing increasing share of railway and road transportation more and more to Italy, to neighboring region. Two reasons are dominant. First, the Danube water levels and congestions at Constanza. Moreover, we are seeing as Constanza every year. And this year is different than the whole previous period. The main difference is in the fact that we had very poor yield of the corn, soybean. Previous years was the pretty much the same. The reasons are climate changes and the droughts in the June, and that caused the poor yield. So opposite of that, we did have the record yields of the wheat, and the quality is excellent. And translated to the market, it means that the non-GMO soybean is around 422 euros per ton at today's market. It means FOB at the seller's place ticket. Serbia has ban on GMO production, so all our soybean is GMO free. Wheat at the Danube port loaded at the barja is 182 euros per ton. Corn is higher price, 184 tons loaded to the barja. This is just approximate prices, and you are seeing that our corn is for a few months higher price than wheat. It is unusual, and right now the question may be asked why the wheat, if there is a abundant supply of wheat price. The answer is simple: the lack of the corn is pulling the wheat prices. Wheat, we are seeing that wheat is more and more using as a feed. So we'll see what will be in the next months. But for now, the corn it's a bit more expensive, and we are seeing rare situation. Then we are above the Euronext. We saw basis difference between Austria and Euronext. We do have rare situation, and our prices are higher than the Euronext prices. It's not the convenient, but we'll see how the market will go in the next period. So it will be very, very brief about the market landscape and the market situation right now. So beside the multinational companies, we do have domestic exporters, large farmers over there, and that will make picture our grain industry in Serbia right now. Thank you.
So thank you, Vlado, very much also for the really good informations and the presentation that you had. So I have a few questions, and I think that it's important to answer on both of it. So the first question is, how can a company become a member of your exchange?
Okay. Maybe, okay, Ghost, would you like to first to answer the question, Ernst?
Okay. Back again. Okay. Yeah. Okay. How will it be possible to become a member at our Börse? Just contact the office, very unofficially send an email, explain what you are doing, trader or processor or whatever. Give us some indication about your yearly turnover. And if you have some recommendations of at least 2 members of our Börse, then the board will accept your application. It's very easy. It takes just some time because we don't have every week a board meeting. So this will be probably lasting some weeks or months. But you can already use all the services of the Börse.
Thank you very much. And what about Novi Sad?
Thank you, Mladena. Novi Sad, actually, it's a simple process. Just to receive, as a member, to receive all the market information in real time. The subscription fee is annually is less than 300 euros, so it's very simple. Just to there is no any other requirements. So you are getting your personal broker, somebody you can consult. So if you need just a public information, you can find it in our website, delayed. So if it is enough for you, you can use our website. It's 2 days in the price report. So if the traders would like to use a platform to trade, there is no other fee, but we are checking the traders and say there is need some recommendations, so others. So there is approval procedure over there. So it is like a straightforward, easier process, but checking the traders will take like a couple of days usually.
Very much. So I have another question, and it's where can market reports and official exchange publications be accessed? So can both of you give me an answer, please?
Well, our price notations and market reports, and together with information on markets, you have articles on all big supply-demand reports globally. They are issued on our homepage, so easily to be accessed. You don't have to be a member, just stop by our homepage and look after the information. You have the price graphs available there. Yeah, everything, unfortunately, in German.
Okay, Mladena, thanks, Ernst. From the Commodity Exchange side is the same, while the only 2 days delay if you are using the website, and if usually traders need real-time information to be complete, and our experience, the most value they are getting from contacting their brokers. Usually the question, why is the price so high? Why is the low? What's happening? Is there a problem with Danube water level or some of this? So for traders, it's useful to become the members. There's usually just need to be informed. They may consult our website.
So thank you, Ernst and Vlado, for the answers and also for your valuable presentations. And thank you all for being with us today. So we invite you to join us this Monday at 2 p.m. Danube Soya will present non-GMO crop supply in Europe with a special focus on non-GMO soya, featuring top experts Bertalan Krupa and Daniel Markomen. So thank you again for being with us, and we look forward to see you again.
Okay, many thanks, Ernst, to you and Vienna Commodity Exchange. Mladena, thank you, and thank Danube Soya for next presentation as well. It was a real pleasure.
Thank you. It was a pleasure for me too, and maybe we see each other in Vienna next time.
For sure, we promise. Yeah, have a good day.